Welcome to Choose Kitchen. I'm gonna show you today the recipe of biscotti. I'm gonna show you. I have ingredients here. I'm going using a 1 cup of brown sugar, 1 cup of white sugar, and I have 1 cup of mixed dry fruit here, raisin. Raisin and dates, and I have a black raisin and yellow raisin, and 1 cup of almond chopped, and teaspoon of vanilla extract, and I have here 2 cups of flour. I'm using all-purpose flour, and I have a 1.5 stick of butter unsalted. 1 stick is like 8 tablespoons, and a half is I'm using a 4 tablespoons. So it's gonna go in here, and I'm gonna make a batter. With that, I'm gonna use 1 cup of white sugar and 1 cup of brown sugar, because we need a 2 cups of sugar. And then I'm gonna start blending together, and then I'm gonna add the 4 large egg here. It's gonna go in. So, okay, I'm gonna put the egg in now, the 4 large egg here, and make a batter here. Blend for at least 1 minute, and then I'm gonna add you need butter and eggs all room temperature. Otherwise, it's gonna take too long to blend. You're not gonna blend good. So now I'm gonna add the 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract here. This goes in here. And then I'm gonna add some flour here, like 2 cups of flour going in here. 1. When you measure, you don't want to feel too like this. Okay, this is 2nd cup flour. And then I'm gonna add 1 tablespoon of baking powder, 1 tablespoon of baking powder, and 1 teaspoon of baking soda. This is a baking powder. I'm using 1 tablespoon. So you add baking powder more than baking soda. So baking soda, you have to put only 1 teaspoon. Okay, 1 teaspoon baking soda and 1 tablespoon baking powder. Okay, now you blend together. All together, blend for at least 1 minute. And then you have to clean up together. Hold on. Okay, we are blending for 1 minute, and then I have to clean up from the side here, and then put together. So I need a spatula here. We are using a spatula to push down all the ingredients, that flour going on the side, and then you have to blend again. Okay, it's been blending for 1 minute, and that's it. Okay, we are done with the machine now. So we have to mix the nuts in here now, the whole 1 cup of almond nuts, and the dry fruit here, all mixed dry fruits, raisin, black raisin, golden raisin, and dates here. So this whole like 1 cup mix. Whatever dry fruit you like, you can add, figs, whatever. So I'm done with the mixing, so I can mix with the hand now. So I'll show you all together. we are cleaning up with this one. We don't need this one anymore. So we're gonna mix with the spatula. So we are done with the blender. Okay, so now we have to mix all together, and then we're gonna put inside. We have to mix flour because it's kind of very lumpy, so we need to add more flour. I have a 1 cup here flour, so I'm gonna keep adding the flour here slowly because it's very lumpy, so you need a little bit firm, so we have to always leave extra flour there so you can make a biscotti. So I'll show you how consistency you want. Okay, so we are adding like a half cup of flour goes in, dry flour extra, so then we can make a consistencies for the biscotti because it was very lumpy. So we need a gooey, but it was too gooey, so that's why we add a half cup of dry flour again, all purpose. So then you mix together, and then we can transfer to the cooking sheet, the baking sheet, the cookie sheet. We're gonna transfer there, and then I'm gonna put together and I'll show you. Okay, while I'm doing the making dough for the biscotti, I'm gonna go ahead and put on the oven, preheat oven for 375, and start it and leave it on, and then we can make need a cookie sheet here, like a baking sheet. So the consistency is gonna be like this, gooey, because we add a half cup of flour, dry flour. So all together is 2.5 cup all-purpose flour. Okay, we add that extra flour after the when we add the nuts and everything, the nuts and the dry fruit, and then we slowly adding little. So I use like half cup extra flour, dry flour. So you want a consistency like this, like a gooey here now. So we're gonna transfer here on the baking sheet, and then I'm gonna divide it in here 2 size biscotti. Before that, we have to spread here flour. I'm gonna put one side here biscotti and one side here, so it's gonna be like 2 slices of biscotti. Okay, I already transfer all the dough here on the baking sheet, and I spread the flour before we put on the dough here on the baking sheet, and then you have to spread like this long to make a shape all together like this. Make a shape like this long and spread and put shape together, and then we're gonna put in the oven on a 375 degree going on the oven, and we're gonna bake for 25 minutes. So okay, we're gonna check at after 20 minutes. We're gonna check sometime at 20 minutes is done, but usually I set 25 minutes, and then we take it out, and then we're gonna cut, and then we're gonna put back again in the oven for at least 10-20 minutes, bake again so it become more crispy. So my oven is preheating right now at 335, so we have to reach to 375. So my dough is here all rest, and you have to just put like this to make shape. Okay, it's ready to go in, but I'm waiting for preheat the oven. So okay, my oven is ready now. It's reached to 375, so the dough is going in. I have a 2 biscotti here. So it's going into the oven for 25 minutes. I'm going to set 25 minutes cooking time. Okay, after 20 minutes, I'll show you how it looks. After 20 minutes, the biscotti look like this here. So I'm going to leave for 2 more minutes and then I'm going to take it out. So I'm going to leave for, at least I set for 25 minutes, but I'm going to leave for 1 more minute and then I'm going to take it out. Okay, I'm going to take it out now. The biscotti, it's been baking for 23 minutes. So it looks like this now, like golden brown. So that's the color you want. And let it rest for 5 minutes and then I'm going to transfer here to the cutting board and then I'm going to cut and then put back in the oven again for bake for at least 15-20 minutes. Okay, let it cool down for like 5 to 3 minutes. So okay, it's been like 5 minutes resting, so I'm gonna take it out from the baking sheet, transfer to the cutting board and then I'm gonna start cutting. Okay, so I'm gonna transfer here. Is kind of okay, here we go. I'm gonna transfer here on the cutting board and one is resting here, so we can just get ready here. So let it rest. So while this one is resting, I'm gonna cut this one like a diagonal shape like this here. I'm gonna cut from here, corner. Okay, there we go. How big size you want is up to you. This thick is good enough here. Okay. Okay, we're gonna put back in the oven. My oven is still on. I didn't turn off. Leave it on because it's gonna go back to oven for at least 10-15 minutes to make a more crispier. You can eat like this if you want, but it's not gonna be very crispy. It's very soft still, but if you like a more crispier, then we have to put back in the oven to become a biscotti. See, it's very soft right now, so it's not very crunchy, so we have to make more crunchy. That's why we have to put back in the oven. So I'm just cutting a biscotti size here. Okay, this is corner one is already like, so I'm gonna put back in the baking sheet again and then I'm gonna transfer this one here and cut. So I'll show you. Okay, I'm gonna transfer this, all the cut biscotti on the baking sheet, the clean baking sheet, another baking sheet, and we're gonna bake in the oven again. So here we go, all line up, and then we're gonna do same one, this process same like this, and then I'll put back in the oven. I'll show you. Here I'm gonna cut this one too, that it was resting. How thick you want is up to you. Some people like very thick, some like thin, so it's up to you. But I'm cutting this size. Mine is getting longer and longer. See? The corner is always crispy already, so I leave it here. I like to eat this one with coffee. So I'm gonna put this back all in the baking sheet and then I'll put back in the oven. Okay, I'll show you. Okay, these are going back to the oven for at least 10-15 minutes. So more you put there, like more become crispier, so crunchy. And I'm gonna put one here and one is here. This is the small one. So I'll leave it for 10 minutes and then I'm gonna check. Usually I bake for 10-15 minutes again. So I'll set for 15 minutes. So I'm gonna check around 10 minutes, after 10 minutes. Okay, after 15 minutes, the biscotti look like this. It's all done. So I don't wanna burn too much. So we let cool down and then it's gonna become crispier. It's done now. It's been baking for 15 more minutes. So let's wait for cool down for 5 minutes, and then more you will keep it for become colder, it will become more crunchy. So like this one here, it has become very crunchy. See, this is very crunchy, the corner one. So here you hear like this, you will hear when you bite, because let cool down, so it will be more crunchy. So that's it. My biscotti is done now, and I'm going to show you when it cool down, then it's going to become crunchy. So when you transfer to the rake like this, so it will cool down faster, and then it will become like a crispy. Okay, let it cool down, and after this, then I'll show you how it become crunchy. See, after biscotti is cooled down, here it's cold now, so you can touch,